Okay, hello Milwaukee. It's Robin Reese with Between the Sheets. I'm trying to make sure I'm looking into the camera right.
You are.
Okay, so it is episode 4, season 2. I'm so happy to be back. Before I get started, I just want to retouch on a couple things that I talked about on the last couple episodes. Glow 414, that was the building that was hit in an accident on 23rd off of Hopkins. Still reach out to her. The founder, she's on my page. I'll reshare her information. And I'm trying to think of what else. We have the group home for the young women off Sherman and Hampton. So I'll reshare that information on my Facebook too. So, before we get started, I just want to say 2023 has been such a very, very good year for me personally.
Mhm.
And last year, I had the chance of meeting my guest, and I follow her on Facebook, I follow her on Instagram. And if y'all just seen the work that she's done, like for herself, it's been so inspiring. I'm like, this is just black girl magic, girl power, just living in your truth. Like this is like she's like holding the baton right now, running the race for us. So, not even with just womanly stuff, just stuff as a person. So I had to have her back. She had her biopic. She shot a mini biopic of just going through various chapters of her life and coming to the end of the road, not of healing, but the end of the road where she can finally say that she acknowledges some of the things that she's been through and that she's ready to put it behind her. So before I get started, I want to introduce Ashley S. Stokes as my
Yeah.
guest. She was here for season 1, episode 2 of Foster Child. She has a couple books out, so I will let her give y'all the information for that. But I want to welcome Ashley back.
Thank you. Thank you. I am so glad to be back with Between the Sheets podcast. I know it's been like you've been taking a little bit of a break, and
Yeah.
breaks are needed, but thank you for having me back. I had some things, some new stuff
Hmm.
popping through, but y'all already know me, Ashley S. Stokes, author, motivational speaker, wellness trainer, director, all of that stuff. But aside from the things that I've accomplished, I am definitely somebody who's, coming into her own and continuing to seek the greatness that I do have, and just um, making sure that things like flow for me. I want to continue to like grow within myself. And I was just talking to, shout out to the classic shop. I was just talking to Shorty upstairs, and I was just saying like I think it's really important for me to continue to like broadcast that there's no perfections here, and I hope that people do see the mistakes that I do make, and I want to try to continue to like live through those mistakes and honor them as well, but continue to like learn and understand that life continues on, and it's a big part of the growing pains. So yeah, I do my thing when I do my thing when I do my thing.
So her biopic was so inspiring because you could just feel the authenticity of it, like from beginning to end.
Thank you.
It caused so many different moments of stuff that she do on a day to day, stuff that she just, is proud of for herself. She showed some other events that she had going on, but it just was the realness for me. Like you just never, like nowadays you never really can pinpoint who's doing
Mhm.
what no more. You don't never know who really got what going on. You don't know what position people being in their life. Are you healed? Are you not healed? Are you in
Right.
between? Are you saying that you're healed but not so much?
Mhm.
Are you just masking what you're going through? Like,
Just a
so you
mask.
never really know,
Mhm.
how people deal with whatever they're battling with, whatever they struggle with in their lives. And
Facts.
her biopic was just like taking off the cover, just letting it be known like these are things that I'm going through on a day-to-day basis.
Mhm.
These are things that I'm revealing to everybody because sometimes I think that it's power in speaking
Mhm.
out about yourself to others. You never know who you might
Absolutely.
touch. So I really want to just say congratulations
Thank
on the
you. I
biopic.
appreciate you. It was a journey, child. And just working through that. So I do appreciate your kind words.
Yeah.
I think that one of the biggest parts of doing Finally Free the film um, was more so about just taking the covers off, basically exactly what you said, and unmasking myself and letting people know, like, this is who I am. Like, this is what it is today, but tomorrow it could be a totally different
Mhm.
Ashley, and I'm okay with that, and being okay with like accepting the things that I am facing. So it's just like, in order for me to free myself, like, how do I accept these challenges, and how do I accept fate, if there is that,
Mhm.
within those journeys that I'm finding myself getting to, and then also just being able to free myself on a larger platform, which is social media, because it's like, hey, in order for me to like move past certain things, like, how am I going to continue to talk about those things over here? Like,
Mhm.
hey, this is what propelled me to be free. Like, and I think it's important to highlight the freedom part of, like, I started here, but I ain't there no more. And then just getting to that next step and that next level, because life is about elevating, life is about growing, life is about accepting challenges and then moving forward with that. But on top of that, like, what are you learning in each step? Like I always say, like, life is really like classes, like your high school
Mhm. Yep.
classes.
Yep.
You're learning in each class. You go to science, you go to math, you go to history, all of these different classes that you're going through. So what did you learn in each one of those classes, and how can you use that and apply it to your freedom space right now? So creating that film, as you stated, biopic, I think that it was another space for me to be like, wow, like, you really are doing the work, as hard as it is, as
Mhm.
as rough as the journey has been, and as real as it's been too, because this is a part of me that I've never shown people. Like, I know that there's some other things that are out there, and I know that there's a lot of different things that I'm working through, but this is a part of me that's sacred to me, and people get to see those ins and outs, and how I kind of propelled and moved forward from book one to book two. So it's like, yeah, finally free is like one of them things. It's like a saying now. Like,
Yeah.
every time somebody say free, I'll be like, yeah.
So what like if you had to give, and you might not be able to, but if
It's
you
fine.
if you were able to guess a day where you just was like, I'm putting everything behind me and I'm
Hmm.
I'm moving on, what would be that time, or what would be that point in your life? Like, was it
Hmm.
like last month, last year? Like, when was that day where you just absolutely knew you had to dedicate everything to just moving forward? Like,
Mm.
when was that time? Like, what made you, when was that day, and what made you come to that conclusion?
So you saying in general,
Mm-hmm.
overall healing process?
Yeah.
So I would say like 28 going into 29. And then finally hitting like 30. Like,
Mm-hmm.
fuck it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's, I kind of got to that point around that age. So 28, 29, 30 was like the real idea of like kind of letting it all out and kind of being who I am and being who I want to be, and really not caring. So I did like a photo shoot when I turned 30, and I was like, man, I want this photo shoot to symbolize like what freedom means to me, and kind of like ripping it off, like unmasking myself, um, and just, it was like a nude shoot. Now, to most people, they would see that as a sexy photo shoot, or a like, this is a nice pic, or whatever the case may be. But it was really about just ripping off like all my fears. So there was message behind the photo shoot, but I do think that, once I hit 30, it was like a wake up moment for me to be like, dude, you really got to get out there. And I know that, you know, I always say something similar to like, my story is not my story anymore. Like, somebody else is living through this.
Mm-hmm.
And if I can be selfless and be that person to be like, look, this happened to me. And if I can save your life, like, by saying that this happened to me, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with being the person who humiliates themselves.
Right, right.
Um, because some people aren't as brave yet. And that's okay. It doesn't mean that, there's something wrong with you or you're accepting what's going on. But I know that I'm freeing other people by me just speaking up. And for
Mm-hmm.
me, that was enough. I was like, yeah. So in
Yeah.
order for me to like get to that space where I was like, okay, Ashley, how can you continue to grow and how can you continue to move forward? Well, you just got to do it. Like, you just have to do it. And whatever that looks like, it's okay. It's okay. So, yes, I do still kind of, get insecure in some spaces. Yes, absolutely, because I'm human.
Mm-hmm.
The spaces that I'm not completely healed through. Um, and it's like, that's fine. That's fine too. You know what I'm saying? So, 30 was like the final straw, but it started
Mm-hmm.
like 28, 29, 30.
So I don't push like God and all of that type of stuff on people, but I really do believe that when we go through
Mm-hmm.
certain stuff like traumas and tribulations and all of that stuff, I really be feeling like it's God's way of
Mm-hmm.
letting us know our duty to
Mm-hmm.
him, not
Mm-hmm.
to like ourselves, but because all of us got some type of anointed power that he
Mm-hmm.
wants us to possess to be
Absolutely.
able to, take care of others. So
Mm-hmm.
I really be feeling like, when people share they testimony, not so much of like in a pastoral type of way,
Yes,
but it's
absolutely.
still communicating his message and still,
Mm-hmm.
taking care of his people. So I do believe like, when people like you are just putting all of their
Mm-hmm.
energy and all of their life and all of their flaws out in front of
Yeah.
everybody,
Mm-hmm.
that's like God's way of communicating through you to other people. So I
Absolutely.
definitely just want to let you know that.
Thank you.
So finally free the film. How long did it take you to shoot it?
Ooh, hmm. So I'll say 8 months.
8 months.
8 months
Okay.
of hard work, dedication, eyes, visuals. It was a lot of hard work. Shout out to Trell Collier and Dooch. Most people call him Dooch, but Darrell Hawkins, and also Amanda Evans,
Mm-hmm.
and my best friend Taja Burks, who helped me with this film process and catching the photography, the entire film process, the behind the scenes. Like, obviously I'm not an octopus, but I think that shooting the entire film, it was about a full 8 months, getting the sound together, kind of putting the pieces together, making those
Mm-hmm.
puzzles stick, because there was a certain thing that I was going for. And, as I watched the film multiple times, I look back like, dang, I could have did this. Dang, I could have did that.
Mm-hmm.
But the message still came across how I wanted it to come across. And it's like, now I know that me doing Finally Free is like, somebody else going to be in front of this camera. Like,
Mm-hmm.
now I'm gonna be the person with the camera and I want you to tell your story. So it's more about like really empowering people to kind of be who they want to be on film, and getting people to understand that, like, nothing in this world is perfect long as we really applying ourselves to the things that we want to do. And at some point, you will get to where you want to get to. But yeah, 8 months, honestly, I was like, dang,
Did you have like
I'm
a favorite
excited.
moment in shooting Finally Free?
Yep, the gym moment.
The gym
The
moment.
moment in the gym with my trainer Shaq. Shout out to Shaq Fitness. Um, that was my favorite moment because the visuals was just so cold. Like,
Her body been bodying y'all too, by the way.
I'm telling you, Shaq be doing his thing, man, in that gym. But it was the gym moment where I kind of put that analogy together to be like, look, you go to the gym every single day to get a result. That's what life is really about. Like, long as we are applying ourselves every single day, I believe that we're going to get the results that we want. And whether that may be like, hey, I'm not feeling this well today, like, it's kind of acknowledging yourself too, like, opposed to, putting your boundaries to the side and just doing stuff. And I'm starting to realize that my boundaries are really important. just overall, especially with people, friends, jobs, whatever it is, it's really important to like stand firm, like
Mm-hmm.
because like people will run you over if you allow that. And as nice as I am, or um, there's a sharp side too. Now,
Yeah.
like I'm not gonna sit up here and be the person who try to hide that either.
Mm-hmm.
It's more about like, look, like, I need you to kind of respect this space that I'm in. And a lot of times people talk about like, the person that they used to be, and I just don't believe in bringing her up because she ain't here no more. And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
I know there's potential there, absolutely, but it's more about like applying myself and really lifting weight every day. Life is about lifting weights every
Yeah.
single day. Um, like the more we think about it, the more it really goes with that gym concept. Like, what you going to the gym for? To feel good, right? You
Mm-hmm.
go to the gym to look good. I go to the gym for feelings, thoughts, shape how I want to look, therapy, in ways that I kind of want to just be in my life, like for health. Like the
Mm-hmm.
gym is for so many different reasons, and for whatever your reason is for going to the gym, that's how I look at life. Like, so I put that concept into the film to let people know, like, this is what life is really about right
Right.
here. Like, I want to continue to lift this weight, and even if it's heavy, even if it's painful, even if you
Mm-hmm.
don't want to do it, at some point that ass gonna be sitting. Like, like at some point that ass gonna be sitting. So, and that's kind of how I look at life. Like, at some point it's gonna shape up for you, and
Mm-hmm.
the more you kind of put things into perspective for yourself. And I just hope that anybody kind of lift their weights up. Like, how you gonna lift your weights up? Like, you gotta have good form.
Mm-hmm.
You got to do the research. That's what I look at good form as, or whatever. But I really do believe that life is really like the gym.
Yeah.
It's like the
I
gym.
I like the scene where you had the photo shoot outside.
Oh yeah,
I just
that was
felt
my friend
like,
part.
yeah, cause
Yeah,
like sometimes I be just want to get the urge to just free myself for everything,
yeah,
get up and go. If I
yeah.
didn't have them kids, no, but
I am team FDK. Okay, no, I ain't gonna trip though, cause I'm
yeah.
finna get a little son. I'm finna get a dog, so I'm getting
Oh,
a son.
okay.
So it's
But
all right.
cause, woo, I was like, woo, if it wasn't for y'all,
Listen,
I'd be
I'll be
through, I'd be
outside.
gone. And you know what? For so many years,
Yeah.
that was just in my nature to.
Mhm.
Like even now, my mom would be like, "How could you just get up and run and go and go and go and go and go?"
Mhm.
I'm like, it's not that I want to. It's just that it's in my nature to just be free and just to live.
Mhm.
Not day by day. I think that's why sometimes when I got structure, I don't really like it. But
Yeah.
you know, but
Nobody likes it.
but 2023 really been and part of 2022 really been like my breakout year of me feeling back to on the go. Like I
Yeah.
don't feel like as smothered and as bottled down
That's
and
good.
heavy how I used to. So
Mhm.
yeah, I definitely when you did that scene outside, I'm like, that's exactly how I feel right now. Like
Yeah.
right now I just feel like I just got everything in front of me, and right now
Mhm.
I'm just on the
Yeah.
go. Like I'm going after everything. Like
Mhm.
no more putting it off, no more putting it to the side.
Mhm.
My kids just gonna have to figure out where they fit in.
You fit in where you fit in, child.
Right. Like
Yeah.
but yeah, so I definitely like enjoyed that. I enjoyed your like commentary where you just, spoke and
Mhm.
because you just seemed so humble, so
Yeah.
peaceful. You were like really communicative, like just expressing how you feel about
Mhm.
certain stuff. And you just kept
Thank you.
reiterating on like I'm not perfect. Like this is a
That's my
process.
disclaimer.
Yes.
It's my disclaimer, and I think that where that comes from is when I was younger, I tried my hardest to present as this perfect kid. Like,
Mhm.
I had to be good, I had to be perfect, I couldn't mess up. Like, so when a lot of my friends or family are talking about the things that they did as kids, I'd be like, hell no. Like, I knew not to talk back. That was like
Mhm.
forbidden for me. And it's like, talking back resulted to something. And for me to see that, or talking in any kind of form wasn't respectful to adults, I was like, y'all crazy as hell. Like, you know, so I tried my hardest to be a kid that was, how can I put it? Like, that really ain't had no problems, but I was fucked up inside. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and to me, what that looks like is that, first of all, this kid don't really know how to express themselves. Secondly, you know, all of you were silenced as a kid. You don't know how to say or communicate the things that you want. You present as perfect because you want to appear like you have no problem, and you are a fucking problem. Like, you
Mm-hmm.
are fighting a demon within yourself. And when I came to the point where I'm like, damn, this is really like me. Like, I need to like break out of that. And
Mm-hmm.
how do you break out of that? Well, you got to tell your story. You got to be able to kind of show people this ugly side. Like, and yeah, it's again, I always say it's still a learning process. It's not like a thing that I just learned overnight. Like, come on now, I've just started telling my story. You know, people are just starting to know who I am. But I've been Ashley for 33 years, you know, and to come into my own and kind of really knowing what I was going through, that started at like 7. Like, so I got 7 until,
Right.
you know what I'm saying,
Mm-hmm.
21, where I'm really starting to figure out, like, damn, I'm fucked up. Like, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So that's a lot of years of dealing with a lot of pain and holding it in. So it was more so like perfection. You know, what does that look like for you? You know, why do you feel like you gotta present as being this perfect person? Because nobody in the world has that. And you know, someone had told me like maybe they need to, or maybe you need to heal some more. You know what? I do. I do need to heal some more. Absolutely. And
Mm-hmm.
I look at that as like, I'm going to continue to heal. I'm going to continue to grow. I'm going to continue to be me. But at the same time, like, who said that like healing was a completion? Like,
Yeah.
I'm not graduating from healing. I'm
Yeah.
healing throughout my entire life.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a graduation. It's not something that I'm trying to complete. Like, you never complete healing, because honestly, tomorrow I can see something that triggered me, and
Right.
the next 10 minutes could trigger me, you know. And I think that, you know, putting that disclaimer out there, um, and letting people know that there is nothing perfect about this process.
Right.
And if you think that you have to be perfect, like, stop. Like, that's,
Mm-hmm.
you're not gonna get nowhere thinking that. So if I
Yeah.
can kind of
Yeah.
help you not be free, or be free, but saying like, hey, like, in order to be free, you got to get rid of perfection. That perfectionism, like,
Yeah.
that is a problem. And I believe that, you know, Black women, we got that in our mind where we think that we have to do certain things to be a certain way to, but honestly, you know, society got us fucked up.
Yeah.
And the way that the world kind of has us looking. And you know, I'm not out here trying to teach. I'm just
Mm-hmm.
out here being me.
Right.
And me, if me being me is teaching you how to do something, great. Like, that's, I'm cool with that. But my main message is inspiring people. I just want to inspire people that there is more. Like, there is more to explore about who you are. And, you know, with me being myself, I do recognize that, like I'm my own inspiration. Like, I inspire myself daily, like, because I
Mm-hmm.
shock the hell out of myself
Right.
frequently. And, you know, I had to put that disclaimer in the film. Like, yeah, keep telling the people that you ain't perfect, because, and hopes that they get it. Because I'm telling y'all, but I'm really telling myself, like, I ain't perfect. Because that's my affirmation. I'm not. Like,
Yeah.
I kind of have to say that very frequently to get rid of the disclaimer. Like, you know, she thinks she all that and do, but it's like, I ain't perfect though.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think the most
Yeah.
of everybody. Got to think the most of their own
Listen, because
self
if you
first.
don't, now the world gonna think
Right.
something else.
So I definitely think healing goes in stages. Like
Mm-hmm.
even like because you hear a lot of people say you got to heal your mind, heal your heart, heal your body, your soul, your
Mm-hmm.
spirit. But I also think that healing just goes in stages because you got to go through where it started to
Mm-hmm.
go to where it went to the next point,
Yeah.
and then the final chapter. Like, you can't just say, okay, I'm gonna heal myself at the end. You got
Hmm.
to go through all of those different layers
You
of where it
definitely do.
started, the next time this happened, the next time that happened, the next time this went on, and then once you get to the end, if you get to the end, maybe you just might
Hmm.
get to the final chapter and be like, okay, I've learned to accept it and I'm healing. But healing, because healing is a process. So
Hmm.
I just just appreciated the film because people just think like, okay, I'm gonna heal myself. It's gonna take a
Yeah.
week, and I'm only gonna deal with the stuff that happened last month.
No.
Like,
No.
no, because when
No.
you only deal with the stuff from last month, then
Hmm.
you're gonna be going backwards because you didn't go
Hmm.
from the root, to the end.
Yep.
So
Absolutely. Yeah. It's
yeah.
definitely a journey. And Nipsey said it best. Like, it's a marathon. Like, it's a
Mhm.
marathon. It's not a sprint. Like, I'm not out here trying to do nothing to complete it. Like, it's I really think that life is not a full completion. Like,
Right.
you can accomplish things,
Mhm.
and you can get to the next goal, but there is no completion until you in the ground.
Right.
That's it.
I was just gonna say, yeah.
Um, like, so I when it comes to healing, I just believe there is no completion. You're
Mhm.
not chasing to complete. You're chasing to get better.
Right.
Like, you're chasing to learn and unlearn a behavior that you had. You're chasing to continue to, like, plant the seed in yourself, like, wow, this was messed up, but I learned from that. And how can I grow and move forward? And I think that sometimes people have it fucked up. Like,
Mhm.
healing is not like, it ain't pretty. It's
Yeah.
ugly as hell. Like,
Yeah.
and I try not to use the word ugly, but that's what healing is. It's
Yeah.
ugly.
And it's
And
hurtful
it's
because you,
it's painful because
yeah,
you gotta face
everything.
everything, and the first person that you gotta face is you.
Yep.
So, you know, really looking at who you are as a person, and yes, it's not overnight, absolutely. Looking at who you are as a person is crazy as hell. Kendrick Lamar was one of my favorite artists, and his last album, um, damn, I can't think of the name of the song, but he was like, when you look in the mirror, like who are you? You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's where that unmasking comes from. Like, and he yelled out in the song, like, you ugly as fuck. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
You out of pocket, blah 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 blah,
Right.
right? But when you take all this stuff off at night, like, who do you think you are? Like, who do you think you are? Who do you see that you are? And you know, facing yourself is the ugliest part
Yeah.
of healing, because all you doing is saying, well, this happened to me, and this happened to me, and this person did this to me, and this happened. Like, all of the mental, physical, emotional, spiritual, sexual, any type of trauma that you've endured young, now as an adult, whatever the case may be, all of that shit is everybody else.
Mhm.
So once you're done with that, now who left?
You.
You. And that's the ugliest part of healing, is like telling yourself where you fucked up at,
Mhm.
and how you could have learned that it's not easy. And the more that I do realize that, I am a voice for a lot of people. Um, and that's cool. But I'm really a voice for my inner self,
Yeah.
my child self. Like,
Mhm.
I'm a voice for Ashley, the baby girl. Like, because I want for her to know that, like, dude, like, this for you. You deserve this. You deserve this part of you. You deserve
Mhm.
to, get over this hump. And sometimes I get into spaces where I feel like I don't deserve it. And it's like, why? You know what I'm saying? Like, why
Mhm.
do you feel like you don't deserve something? And the better that I try to understand that is because, like, shit, people told you all your life that you wouldn't, or people told you all your life that, but how can I, like, grow through that? I just got to keep going, like, keep
Mhm.
going, acknowledge it, and then keep going. Because again, like I said, the ugliest part of healing is the mask. And bringing it back to Kendrick Lamar going to that concert, he said, like, a mask can't hide who you are inside. Like,
Mm-hmm.
never. It's never going to hide who you are. So at the moment that you think that you're hiding something, I don't care. Like, you have to look in the mirror. Like, unless you can't. But, if you're trying to get over some things, you definitely got to look in that mirror and start facing the fact that I got some ugly shit. I
Mm-hmm.
got some ugly shit. And whether that's then, now, next week, today, whatever, um, unmasking is a real thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like enjoy when people just keep it real with me and let me
Yeah,
know,
for sure.
like, this is what I'm going through, this is what I've been through. Because that'll make me want to join with you. Okay, you know what? I've
Yeah.
been through some stuff too. I'm going through some stuff
Hmm.
too. Let's work together and build a friendship, build a
Hmm.
relationship where we could walk through this journey, together. Maybe I can help you, maybe you can help me, or maybe I know somebody, maybe you know somebody.
Hmm.
I always feel like those are things, that make healing easier too, because you just never know like how inspirational, you might
Hmm.
be to somebody or somebody might be to you.
Absolutely. You
Yeah.
definitely got to have a tribe of people that you can do it with. Um, I just believe in right now. Um, I believe I'm in my shedding season. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And that's okay. I'm okay with that. Because honestly, you got to be okay with a lot of different things in your life. Whether the other people or persons is okay with it,
Or not,
you
yeah.
got to be okay with it. Like, how are you feeling? And I constantly tap in with Ashley, and what she feels, because I went through a period of my life where I didn't tap in. And that's why I reiterate, like, this is a self journey. Like, I'm inspiring a lot of people, but this is for myself. Like, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like, and it may sound selfish as hell, but right now I'm in my selfish space where it's like, I'm doing this for me. Like, and life is really about acknowledging that piece. Like, and the great thing is, like, right now I don't have any kids. Like, I don't have kids to kind of like be in that space of saying, like, dude, like, I gotta share my time right now, and I'm
Mhm.
kind of glad that I don't have kids, because it's like I can take this time for me. I can take this time to kind of understand better of who I am. But it's important to get a tribe around you that supports you. Um, and that's honestly there to build you up, to gravitate towards you when they know that, like, dang, I know that she may be going through a little something right now, or, let me tap in with her. Or also, too, respecting the boundary of, like, when she doesn't want to do anything,
Mhm.
because sometimes, I said this on Facebook the other day, like, people are always offended. And I think the offense comes from because they're taking it more personal. Um, if you remove your feelings out of certain things, you start to understand and be like, this ain't got nothing to do with me. This ain't got nothing to do with me, and whatever it has to do with that person. As far as, like, let me give people that space and kind of like let me do my thing and you do your thing. Um, and just understanding that it ain't about you in that
Mhm.
moment. Like, sometimes, human beings, we have like a selfish aspect towards other people. But once you learn to, be more selfless, um, especially when it's something that that person is doing for themselves, then it'll be a lot easier. So yeah, you got to have a tribe, but a tribe that understands.
Mhm.
um it's a post floating around right now, like, we put too much, what is it, we put too much on our friends or family or whatever, because we do, like, they got to do this, they got to make this, they got to be there, they got to, like, no, no, like, people got lives going on, and you just got to create your own. So
Yeah.
whatever that looks like for you.
So when you were going through your phases of life and you were battling so much stuff, did you ever feel like all of the stuff that you had been through was like seeping out or like coming off in a negative way to other people? Did you ever feel, or did
Oh,
you
hell
ever
yeah.
feel like you like maybe like did something to like hurt somebody's feelings but you didn't intend to? It just was you
Absolutely.
personally?
Yeah, absolutely. like I said prior, like I do got a sharp tongue now, and recognizing um, that I do is important.
Mhm.
Um, and sometimes I think that it's okay to have a sharp tongue, but explain it, like versus just saying like, hey, you know, put this over there. You can kind of explain that a little better versus just telling somebody what to do. Like, hey, can you put this over there so that it doesn't fall on the floor? Like, you got to kind of be like,
Mhm.
you got to express more. And I call him my big brother, but it's like a big brother slash mentor, Powman. He was at the film as well. Um, and, or I call him Master P to him.
Mhm.
But he said something that was really important to me, and it's kind of been seeping in my spirit within this last month or so. Um, he said, people typically see the surface of you being upset. And they see you being upset, angry, and mad. Okay. But they don't really know the reasons why. They never really explored the root of why you're upset, angry, and mad. And I was like, damn. And he was like, you know what it is? You got to do a lot better at explaining your feelings. And
Mhm.
I said, what?
Mhm.
So he said that, a lot of times it has to do with, like, yeah, you see me upset, mad, and angry, and all of these other feelings that are surface. But the root is I'm frustrated, I'm disappointed, I'm hurt, I'm sad, you know, um, and not being able to express that in the moment of being angry, upset, and mad is more detrimental because you didn't express it. And it's like, dang, that's really crazy that I didn't even think about that until like a month ago. So he said it's not that, you sharp or whatever. He was like, people see the surface of what it is with you. So you got to do a lot better at explaining your real feeling of what that surface is. Like, hey, I am mad, but this is the reason why I'm sad because X, Y, and Z. I'm disappointed because X, Y, and Z, and explain the real root feeling. So I do feel that, people sometimes may be offended in certain aspects. And sometimes, even in doing this whole internet process of social media, getting to know me and things like that, I do think um, there were some moments that were rough. Absolutely. Um, but people tell me every day, like, dude, it's like your growth is visual. Like,
Mhm.
even in how you talk is better. It's like
Mhm.
calmer. Like, I'm able to come to people and have a conversation versus coming to you upset. Like, I can have a conversation. I don't mind that. And it's about thinking it through though. I know me. And in order for me to talk, I have to think first.
Right.
Like, sometimes I may not answer you right away, but when I do,
Mhm.
it's gonna be fruitful.
Yeah.
And whether it's fruitful for you, it's fruitful for me.
Right.
Because again, it ain't always about the other person when you're trying to express yourself. Sometimes it's about you and letting go. Like,
Mhm.
um, so yeah, I do think that sometimes people may have been offended or may come in being offended, but I think a lot of that comes from people lacking to understand, um, and asking questions. Um, Understanding means that you do have to ask for clarification and what that means so that you don't feel crazy.
Mhm.
So yeah, absolutely. I think people may have or is offended or whatever the case may be. Um, but until they say something, I won't know. So
Yeah.
that's just where I'm at with it. You know, I kind of like move that way
Mhm.
because it's best for me.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna say something. You
Yeah.
ain't gotta worry about me. I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna talk it through, but um, in whatever time frame that I'm ready, though. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's about timing. Everything's about timing,
Yeah.
and
And approach and
yeah, of course,
appropriateness.
yes, of course. Um, so yeah, I think that I'm okay with with a lot of different things now. Um, and it's growth. Like, um, as long as I see that I'm growing, like my growth is visual to everyone, but my growth is internal to me.
Right.
Like people see me,
That's powerful.
but it's internal.
Internal to me.
Yeah.
So, since you've been on your healing journey and then you haven't finally free be such a success, has it been anybody like in particular that just stood out in your mind that was like, you really, really helped me? Like, if you could pick one person, you don't have to say their name, of course, but has it been like, has anybody just came to you like, you don't know what this meant to me or what this did to me? I know it's been a collection of people,
Yeah.
like,
um, yeah, there has been a few, um, but one in particular that stands out. I'll say her name, Michelle. Um, she came to me and she said, uh, like, wow, I never looked at what finally free means until you said something, like, and what that means in healing. She
mm-hmm,
said sometimes healing will have you thinking that you got to be a certain way and can't do certain things, but until you kind of like free yourself from that, it's like it's what you want, like, and
mm-hmm,
what you see it as. And um, it's crazy because I'm like, damn, like I never really even thought about it that way myself, but I do realize that she helped me see as well, like I'm doing something right, like
mm-hmm,
I'm doing something right, like for people to acknowledge it that way. And a lot of times people don't say anything, but when they do say some things to me, I think it's after they watched something like a phase or
mm-hmm.
something in my life or a period. And within this finally free space, I think most people has or have been really paying attention. And I'm an energy person. I'm a spiritual being, and I do believe in the things that you put out will come back to you. And I believe that with this finally free process, um, it's been very fruitful. And whether that's in words, and people really showing up and being themselves, um, it like bring like a real joy to my heart. Like, man,
Mm-hmm.
y'all don't know that y'all really like y'all really doing something for me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it make me smile. Like, dude, like my smile went from like it's like a thing. Like I'm really most proud of the work because I my healing process is phases, and as I go through phases, um, I put it out in the world. Like this is what it is, and I know most people. You've been hearing me saying mask and mask off, and because I had that phase already,
Mm-hmm.
so now it's time to share it with the people. And the people is the ladies at Sip and Speak Social, and whomever else. But
I gotta make it to your next one.
oh yeah, because it's a wrap this year.
Please let me know when you in the
uh,
planning phase so I can make sure I'm totally yours on that day. Cause
yes.
I be moving around, but I'm like I missed two of them.
Mhm.
I'm like I want to be at the next one.
Yes. So yeah, I think that, once I go through phases of my life, then I'm ready to release it to the world. So I look at my healing as phases. It's not like a stage or
Mm-hmm.
level or nothing like that. Um, but it's a stage that I've already gone through. And it's like, how can I put this out here? Like, how can I put this in the world to be like, to make it make sense for them,
Mm-hmm.
because this is how it made sense to me. And
Right.
then sometimes when it don't make sense, I still think people get it. Like, I get it. I know what you're trying to say. Like, so so yeah, I think most people kind of are in that space of like, they watching and it's like it's okay. But yeah, Michelle, more from an inspirational aspect, but someone who's actually helped me um in my mind and kind of helped me shape perspectives. I can't just give it to one. Um, my trainer,
Mhm.
Shaq, and um, Master P. Powman,
Okay.
both men. Um, and you know, their perspective on a lot of different things has kind of really helped me.
Mhm.
It's like, and almost in a way of where they both can kind of like be like, dude, you know, you was bogus as hell. Like,
We listen. We all
yeah,
need them people that's
we
gonna
need them
tell us
people
when
that's
we
gonna
out
tap
of
in.
pocket. Like,
Um,
hey, pull it back some. Like
yes,
you getting a little
you're
crazy.
getting a little spicy now. I need you to slow it down. But both of them, in regards to that, and uh, you know, their horoscope. So, Cancer and Aries. So I kind of rock with them anyway. Shout out to Team Cancer. It's the last day.
You know what? Cancers are the opposite of Capricorns. I'm a Capricorn, but y'all,
Knock it
y'all
off now. Not
got
too
some
much.
hard. Y'all are some hard exterior people.
We are.
My sister is a Cancer, but she loves so passionately. Like once you get through that shell, but woo, honey, she ain't
When
she's
she there, she there.
yeah,
And when we
she ain't no
done,
joke.
we are done. Like it ain't
But
no getting
also
back
when she
in.
say like when
She
she
mean what
speaks,
she
she's
say.
standing on it. Like
Ain't no turning back.
yeah, and my
It's a
niece,
wrap.
like they are some I'm standing on what I said type of
That's
people. I
it.
am who I am. I'm not
That's it.
playing. I got a couple uncles, and
Hmm.
the my uncles, the two are that are cancers. They took so good
Yeah.
care of me as a little
Hmm.
kid. Like they just so loving. They are the most nurturing sign
Sign.
of all the signs.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's
And
why
they
I
love
love,
is
yeah.
so
My
unconditional.
sister been a daycare teacher for so long and she's so nurturing.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
yeah, y'all are like natural parents. Like, even
Hmm.
if y'all don't try to, even if y'all got kids, don't got
Yeah.
kids, y'all just but woo, you gotta get through, you gotta get past that. They might be come off like,
Not too much
like
on them cancers now. Not too much. Not too much.
but no, it's some real love and nurturing
For
going
sure.
on there.
For
Yeah.
sure. For sure. And I do believe that, at some point, that it will shine first before the hard exterior. But,
Yeah.
I think that it's coming out now. It's starting to come out a lot more now, like my soft side and
Yeah.
showing up in more spaces and
Hmm.
um, being myself. Like I'm able to just be myself. Like, and people appreciate that from me, especially in a lot of talk or like, man, I don't know how you turned out, because I would never like never have done that. So
Yeah.
so yeah, I think that one of the things is kind of like just showing up and being authentic to myself.
Hmm. Yeah.
And just being who I am, because people gonna rock with that first anyway. So yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Y'all definitely some nurturing.
We're a little different. We're a little
Yeah.
different for sure. For
Yeah.
sure.
So I do want to thank you for coming back on my show. I do want you to leave both books, the film. Is it out for people to watch it yet or not yet, or you're gonna wait till
So tomorrow actually, Young Society will be having a premiere for Finally Free
okay.
um, at 8 p.m. showing. So the tickets are available on Young Society's Instagram.
Okay.
So it's the Untitled Film, and they will have a showing of Finally Free tomorrow. So I'm really excited about that, and them choosing my film along with a lot of counterparts that's going to be showing their films as well. And there's some other films that were on top of that. And then Finally Free, the book, I'm going through some printing troubles right now,
Mm-hmm.
which is the reason why most people haven't gotten their book, because the printing is off. So once I continue to battle through with that with KDP, um, then everybody will have their
Mm-hmm.
books. But both of the books are available on Ashley at Stokes.com. And you can go there. You can get both of those books. I also have the journal too, my experience journal. If you're in the mood to break down the my experience phase of your life to kind of figure that out, and then Lost in Child Welfare is book one. Finally Free is book two. And then just to further that, you know, Sip and Speak Social is for the ladies of color, the ladies of color, um, will be November 5th, 2023. We are actually in the planning process right now. We have finally finalized food and beverage. I feel like I'm like, damn, planning a wedding or something like. But it's gonna be real big. This year is a masquerade gala, so
okay.
the
Okay, so
unmasking.
November 5th, I'm putting it on my books, and then I gotta give me something to wear. I gotta make sure
Oh, it's
I'm
gonna be a gown. It's gonna be a black carpet. We gonna do the thing this year. So kind of going out with a bang. And I say that every time I do one, but this year is special because the unmasking phase of my life has already happened, and I'm happy to do a masquerade gala.
Yeah,
And
that's gonna be lit.
it's gonna be really lit. And that seems like a theme song for Sip and Speak. And how the hell did that happen? Don't ask, because that was just marketing. But yeah, I'm really excited about Sip and Speak this year. So we're gonna kick that off in, real soon. Like you breathe, it's there. August. We're gonna drop some stuff in August. So
Yeah.
I'm
So
excited.
listen, y'all, every time I watch her clips for the Sip and Speak, it's so many women dressed nice, positive vibes,
Yeah.
talking, just a positive scene. And, we want to tap into that, especially in our community where we could talk effectively amongst each other and, be able to have those conversations that people are, afraid to have. So Sip and Speak definitely be lit. When she share her stuff, I'm like, oh my God, this is so beautiful. Like, and it's just a little bit like stuff like that. If we could just increase the volume of getting people together,
Mm-hmm.
and people doing those type of things will really heal us as a community.
Yeah.
Like it's still, I mean, it's still to take more work, but at least that right there
Yes, for
alone
sure.
is
For
therapeutic.
sure. For
So
sure. It be lit on film, but we really be talking about healing.
yeah,
We really
yeah,
be in there like breaking it
yeah,
down.
yeah,
It ain't
yeah.
all just party, 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 but it do look like that.
Yeah. I mean, but it's just lit like the
The
atmosphere,
atmosphere,
just
yes.
the getting people together,
Yes.
period.
Yes.
That's the lit part.
Yes.
Like
It's gonna
you
be
never
really
hear about no
beautiful.
breakout, like, oh, this happened that. No, it's just like a wonderful, you up there talking, and the ladies is able to ask you stuff, and you conversating back and forth with them, and just everything that people putting out on the table about
Yeah.
themselves, like that's what make it lit.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's
It's gonna be a good time this year. It's gonna be a good time, and G from Ghetto Mantras and Butterfly and all of the originals will be. So I'm really excited about it um, this year because we ain't never did no gown, but I'm excited to see. There will be some different communications coming out in August.
Yeah, because
So
I gotta figure out where I'm gonna get my gown from.
you know what? I honestly I gotta start figuring out where to get those things work, because most people, like, what am I gonna wear? Like those are some questions that people are asking. Like, dang, Ashley, what am I gonna wear? I know it's a gown. I know it's this, and I'm really excited to see the creativity within the mass. That people will be putting on. I'm purposely gonna have one that up and down, because I don't want to mess my makeup up, but I think that most people are really excited about the masquerade gala. That's gonna be
Yeah,
beautiful.
yeah.
Because especially if you come in there with the mask on, and then the whole point is for you to take it off at home.
Yeah.
I'm just floored already. So yeah, I'm really excited about it.
Yeah. So I want to thank you again for
Thank
coming
you.
back. So you're not gonna have you coming back for season 3 too.
I know. That's fine. We can do that.
And I just want to thank you for inviting me to the finally free film. It was, yeah, it was very beautiful, and I'm gonna be tapped in the stuff you got going on. I'm always watching. Listen, y'all, when she go on her vacations, it's not because people be like, "Oh, I'm going on this vacation because I got money." Blah blah blah. No, when Ashley go on vacations, it is serious business. For one, she going to some sightseeing, and it's just like that's what vacations is about. Taking that part of the world, that experience, putting it underneath your feet, grabbing it by its horns, getting every experience from that moment out. And then too, she be looking so fine, y'all. This last trip she went on just gave me like Brandy vibes, like real cute Moesha vibes. I was like, look at Ashley.
Girl, I was outside living, and everybody kept asking me like, dude, who the hell is holding the camera? I said, random people, can you hold this camera for me? Because all I gotta do is show up in the camera. So, but it was a really a good time. Like, I can't wait to show the content for that part of it. But you know how I am. I'm very meticulous in how I post. But it was a time. It was really a good time. And I just relaxed. Like, I relaxed and enjoyed and stayed on the resort, did all the resort activities.
It was like a festival, a party or something every day. I'm like, yes, okay, Ashley.
It was.
Then she's got her little cute elevator pictures. I'm like, look at Ashley.
Those were my favorites, actually. So yeah, it was a really, really good time. Like, I enjoyed myself. I got the tan that I wanted, and I'm like, yeah, this is it. My skin needed this vitamin D. Like, forget all that. And then it was just the naturalness of everything. You know, I try to show people that, like, you know, doing everything by yourself ain't so bad all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, especially for women, we so scary, like, and we don't want to do nothing if ain't nobody else gonna do it. But I'm one of them people, like, I'm out. And I choose to actually do my birthday solo. Like, I don't want anybody to be with me. I want to be with myself. And whether that's still me posting, like, I ain't answering questions, I ain't talking to you, I ain't doing nothing, because I'm just posting and I'm saying what I want to say and doing what I want to do. And I think a lot of that has to do with just being at peace with myself. Like, you could dress how you want to dress. And I think something had came out or something where somebody was, what was it? What's her name? Keke Palmer at that time was like, when I think the boyfriend had said something. Yeah. I was like, you know, women should be able to show up in any room how they want to show up, and they shouldn't be labeled as because they showing up as how they want to show up. And I'm like, I guess healing don't even mean that you know, like the saying was, ain't she still healing? She should be dressed like that. Man, get out of here. Like, I'm gonna do what I want to do. I'm gonna show up how I want to show up, and I'm still gonna heal. Now what? With my tongue out, ass out, everything else out. You know,
did you see the Chili reference? They was like, oh, Usher was singing to her because she played Chili on TV. I'm like,
I ain't catch that.
Social media. Oh, that was you who did it. I'm like, social media is undefeated. Like, that's not why he was singing to her.
The whole thing, I kept saying, dog is really the villain. Episode of Tom on the Boondocks. So that's what made me do that. Not from that.
Oh, so okay, so that was my producer who
That's funny. I ain't see it. I ain't see it at all.
What it was I took a photo of the part where, you know, the whole big issue with Usher and Keke, right?
Yeah.
Then I posted a photo of the fact that Keke actually played Chili in the TLC movie. Then I posted a photo of Usher and Chili, and then I was like, villain.
Wow, yeah, I see it.
I'm like, come on now, like they just make up anything.
Yeah, for sure. Like, social media is really social.
Not the fact that she been out just as probably as long or a little after Usher, like, because Keke been out a long time.
She has been out a really, really long time. She's, you know,
yeah, she been out a long time.
Yeah, that she's definitely cousin sister, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, it was a good time. I had fun.
All right, so make sure you know that you'll be back on the books.
I know. That's fine.
All right, Milwaukee. So that's gonna end season 2, episode 4 of Between the Sheets. This was Finally Free with Ashley S. Stokes. I'm gonna share some of her stuff onto my Facebook page and Instagram, so y'all could just be able to tap in, follow her, add her. She be having a lot of stuff going on. It's all uplifting, all powerful. I'm all about getting together and communicating effectively. So Ashley is that one. I really think that she's like a life coach, but we're gonna get into that later.
Oh,
Cause
okay,
them
child.
life coaches, y'all to fix my life.
I know, right? And I said with life coaches, I feel like I think the thing with life coaches is teaching. You know what I'm saying? And I try to stay away from the teaching aspect because I don't want to teach you how to do it. I think just do it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Well, I'm gonna work on her with that part of it. Like,
Ah.
all right, y'all. Thank you. Until next time.